two, three. Can you hear me now? If you can't talk, then you should leave and come back. Because I don't see that you're able to talk. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Mm-hmm. Say one, two, three.
Okay, is it
Yeah.
working?
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Mm-hmm. Let me check.
Uh, that was my first question.
What was your first question? What?
Are we streaming?
Checking right now. I'm waiting for YouTube to do a mic check.
Yeah, it's live. It's live.
Yes,
All
it
right,
sounds good.
that's nice. Okay, so a few things. So you're talking to Avilo,
I
right?
texted him a couple of years ago when he first came up with Oumuamua. I got into Oumuamua like very deeply. I believe it's obviously alien tech. That's the only scientific explanation. And
Okay, I've been thinking about the way to detect aliens, by the way.
oh,
And I've been thinking about contacting Avilov about that because he's probably like the person who would be the most interested in that.
okay. Well,
So
I have a
my
solution. I have a solution that no one talks about to the Fermi's paradox.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Or do you want me to say mine first?
Oh, you have a solution to Fermi's paradox?
Oh, no, no, no. I have a solution to like detect, to like improve our ability to detect
It's not gonna work.
spacecraft and stuff like
It's
that.
not gonna work.
Hmm?
It's not going
No, there
to
is one
work.
way it might work.
No,
Hmm?
no, it's not gonna work because
Okay, why?
of Fermi's paradox. You have to solve Fermi's paradox to explain why they're not here. If you can't solve
Hmm?
Fermi's
Okay, but we,
paradox,
we we can't be sure about that.
of course we can. What do you
How can
mean?
we be sure about that? Like
You
they're
have
not
you have
here.
a
Like
15
they're.
you have a 15 billion year old universe. It just takes one
Mhm.
civilization to take over the entire visible universe.
Oh,
And
so that's your solution.
no, one second. Let me check. I have a message. One second. One second. I'm chasing this chick.
Mhm. You're trying to make your dominatrix.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. She's a dominatrix, and she's
Oh, that's not common.
yeah. It's very
That's
difficult to find dominatrix, definitely. But she's gorgeous. She's very young. She's drop dead gorgeous. Now she's asking me what I want from her life because she dumped me, so I need to make somehow get her
mm,
back.
that's interesting. Like, how's her personality?
Oh,
If that's
perfect.
not all
No,
first
she's
question.
amazing. She's amazing. She's perfect.
No, but like you want to get her back, so you did something. So I'm thinking more in those terms of.
No. I just need to show her because
Like,
I overreacted to. I'll tell
oh, I
you,
see.
let me just. I need to respond to her, so I need to think a lot.
Okay, okay. Well,
So let me think. What? So I saw her last night. Anyway, she. What was the question? Oh, how to get her back?
no, what was like how's her personality in terms of like
Beautiful, beautiful.
in useful terms for getting her back.
In
Very
useful terms
general
for
question.
what?
For getting her back.
What's the strategy?
Yeah, like what's she like, so we can think about like what would be a good strategy
It's a simple
for her
strategy.
personality.
So what happened was that she sent me a picture at a party, and I reacted. And I told her something inappropriate, and she said that I'm being
Mm.
inappropriate. But she wasn't like 100%. She didn't say only it's inappropriate. She said we're not at that stage. It's inappropriate. We're not at
Mm.
that stage, which suggests that she's okay with it. Just chillax.
Just not now.
What?
Just not now. I
S-
think she's probably playing with you a bit.
Yeah, of course. So I overreacted and I said, I overreacted and I said, I'm so sorry, so sorry, so sorry. And it was too much. And um,
Mm,
and that's not what she was looking for. She's looking for someone calm. And I communicated panic. And that destroyed everything. Because a chick wants, when she's with a guy, it doesn't matter if she's a dom or a sub, it doesn't matter. When a chick is with a guy, she wants to be in a virtual reality of perfection. It has to be some virtual reality. She wants to forget about reality. She doesn't want a guy that panics, that reminds her of life. She's with the
yeah,
guy, and
like,
she wants to forget about reality. Whether it doesn't matter what reality is, she wants to be in fantasy land. And I detached her from the fantasy and I brought her back to earth. And anyway, that so all I need to do now is just re-communicate fantasy.
yeah,
And
that's a good idea.
but by fantasy, I don't mean sexual fantasy, just the fantasy of I'm calm, I'm calm. See, the guy needs to be the
Yeah,
rock. See, the girl can do anything she wants, and she expects the guy to be very stable. So if the guy
yeah,
panics,
that's usually not something I think about too much because that's not really a problem that I have. It's
anyway, but the
usually just overly calm if anything.
right, no, but I'm always calm. But this chick, she's like,
Yeah, you like that.
no, no, no. Look, I'm an old man, and she's a young, beautiful girl. I mean, it's
Yeah,
complete.
that's
It's like we walk when we went out on a date. It's like people look at us and they're like, "What the heck is going on? Like, why is this old man walking around with a runway model?" So, um,
like I've noticed that chicks who like to be more on the domineering side, they like older guys in as
oh,
well.
oh, that's
I think the
interesting.
old age is kind of related.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like I had a friend who was like with she was like more to the dom side. She was her boyfriend was like almost 20 years older than her, and I've seen that on other girls who are more like that.
Mm.
Kind of,
So,
I think it's like
mhm.
they get kind of used to play the guy like when they're younger,
Anyway,
so it often correlates with like having a bit daddy issues.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I think it
So,
correlates with
yeah,
that.
that's you're hitting the nail on the head. You're getting everything correct. So, but I didn't know. So I was panicking because I didn't know why she's with me to begin with. I wasn't thinking that she sees me as a
Mm.
potential mate. I was thinking that she sees me as a potential slave. But but then but
I mean, if she's like really into being the dominant one, then that's that's what she's looking for in a mate.
right. But
So
I didn't know that she's seeing me as a potential relationship. And then as she was, rejecting me and dumping me, she kept saying, "I thought you were a good potential mate, but I see that this relationship is more difficult than I thought it would be." But she kept saying that she thought this would be a normal relationship. And so now I understand. I mean, at that point I began to understand, wait a minute,
yeah.
she really likes me, and she's not just with me. Like I thought there's like a misunderstanding that but apparently she actually did like me. So anyway, so I saw her last night at
Oh, that's good.
anyway, I saw her last night and we spoke a little bit. So I don't know, maybe I'll be able to get her back. Whatever. Anyway, let's talk.
Yeah, I think you will.
Yeah, it's whatever. I hope. I don't see why not. Anyway, so let's get back to our issue.
Okay, so you're talking about Fermi's paradox,
So I mean,
and you have a solution,
we
right?
can talk about it. I'd rather not because it's. I mean, we look.
Oh, okay.
If you want, me and you, we can write many papers together and submit them.
Yeah, we could.
because
Yeah, I mean, I've got in terms of like things that I see are wrong that need correction. I got a lot of them.
have you
Yeah.
ever written a paper, like a scientific paper?
I've written a thesis, but I don't think I've ever written. Yeah, I've never written a paper. Even though I'm now going to have to write papers probably
Mm.
quite soon.
Mm.
But we will see what happens.
Wait, do you have a
But
PhD?
I know how to write a scientific paper. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
I
that's good.
know
Because I have
that's
no
not a
idea.
problem.
Okay, that's
I
good.
have no idea. Oh, no, it's not complicated. It has a very set structure.
Okay, that's
You
good.
start with the abstract, then you do some introduction motivation, then you need to to explain your experimental setup, or in this case it's not experimental setup, it's like if it's just a thought experiment, so you need to explain your experiment, you need to quote the literature and compare to what what's going on in the literature. Like actually you do that first, you do that after the introduction. You get like you have to quote like previous work, and then you do the experiment, you do the results, and you do the conclusions and the analysis of the implications
Wow.
of the experiment. Yeah, it's basically that. It's not that it's not very different. It's actually a lot simpler than writing a thesis. So if you have written a thesis,
No, I
it
never
should be pretty
wrote.
simple.
I wrote in high school.
You know that is it?
I wrote papers in
Oh,
high school.
nice school or college?
College? No, I didn't.
College.
I wrote papers in college, but not scientific. I wrote maybe one scientific paper.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not that difficult.
Okay, you know what?
That's not the problem.
So tomorrow
So
I'll start writing something, and then we'll spend some time.
okay.
I'll get feedback from you, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. The just write the part of like the experimental setup and stuff like that. Should focus on that first.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll just
so
I'll just go over my proof of like I want to concentrate on Einstein's
yeah,
postulate before anything else. I think that's the most important.
yeah, that's the most important part. The rest is whatever. It's just too much talk.
Right. So
Yeah.
okay, I'll so
Okay.
tomorrow I'll do that, and then we'll meet and review it.
Yeah. Are you on vacation or something like that?
I'm taking time off from my
Oh,
day
okay.
job. Yeah, to I mean, I can manage my own time. I can do whatever I want. I'm an old man.
Oh, okay.
I'm free. I'm relatively free to do whatever I want at this point in my life.
Okay. I see. I see. I'm not. I have to have to work tomorrow,
Oh, that's good. No, so
but it's okay. I have some time.
okay. I mean,
You
I'm
can
not gonna.
now can always
I
come back
just
to me.
need your review. I just need you to review and give me feedback and the next step, and and we'll do
Yeah.
it in
Don't worry about
multiple
that.
iterations until it's gonna look presentable. Anyway,
Yeah. It
um,
has to. It if you want to, you should also have some like figures and stuff like that
for
to
sure,
exemplify.
for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
I'll
I've heard
do.
it.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I'll do the diagrams because I did everything today when I did the presentation today. I'll do that. Anyway, so my solution to what is that? Who was here?
I
And
don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it was Lily that did something.
Yeah, somebody did it.
I
Anyway,
don't know. I don't know what's going on.
so Fermi's paradox. The solution to Fermi's paradox has to be 100% proof. It can't be 99.9% or not even 99.99999%. It has to be 100%. So the only thing that is 100% is math, relatively speaking. So math, that means game theory and economics. So anyway, so the solution is that all civilizations, not civilization, all intelligent life, including AI, must end up as North Korean type dictatorships, as 1984 type.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I don't. I got a few problems with that interpretation. I think that's likely to happen,
No,
but
it's
I
game.
think that's likely to happen. But does
No,
it to happen? I don't
no, it has to
see.
happen. It has to
But
happen.
how can you be certain?
Because you see the behavior. You see, we just spent 100 years of dark ages because of a mistake of Einstein. And
Yeah, that's true. But like that's as humans, we don't know if
yeah,
other civilizations are
no,
like that.
no. It's because look, these people are busy making money and they're busy worshiping Einstein, and people with tenure are terrified to lose their jobs and lose their, recognition. That's why they hate Avi Loeb. They hate Avi Loeb. He keeps
Yeah, I know.
explaining. He basically discovered the sociology of science. He discovered how corrupt science is. So science has become the most corrupted organization on the planet. So, so
Yeah, and I
see
mean it's not different from the rest of
exactly.
things that are.
So the system
It's
is
the
a
same thing.
hundred percent corruptible. This is just a rationality. If you know any economics, this is just the rationality assumption coming back to haunt us. It's rational. The, the truth is not
Yeah, it's
rational.
self-interest basically. It's people acting on their own self-interest instead
Exactly.
of
So,
wanting to
so
actually do the right thing.
there
That's
is no
I mean
right thing,
it's
right?
normal because the incentive. If you think about where the incentives are, the incentives are not to question like to
Exactly.
question and correct old ideas.
Exactly.
The incentives are to come up with like random stuff and then ask for
Exactly.
the government to
Exactly.
give you some money to study. Hey, I have a new particle or something. It's like
Exactly.
Sabine said. Like Sabine
Exactly.
put it really well.
And then you get
But everything is like this.
all the
You go to the private
scientists.
sector, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Like if you really want to do something revolutionary, it's very hard to do because the investors can't distinguish whether you're legitimate or not, and you just have to. You basically have to either open the buzzwords or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Good
or
point.
something. And even when you do that, sometimes investors get burned, and it's problematic.
Yeah. So so
There's never much incentive to like correct what we're doing wrong because there's always a lot of resistance to that.
right.
That's just all the world is.
Right.
But anyways, the paradox. You were saying that all civilizations, because of this, these dynamics, end up.
It gets worse. You see, like I actually went through the mob effect. The mob came after me. I defend
When
like about a year or two ago. That's when I wasn't playing with fire. That's why I left playing with fire, because Alex started coming after me, and the mob, they're all a bunch.
oh, I think I remember something like that.
So he started accusing me of nonsense. Now, why did he start accusing me? So there was another guy, forgot his name, Hormaxer. Remember Hormaxer?
Oh, or Maxer, I remember Maxer.
So
That was quite the character.
right. So Hormaxer was apparently on YouTube, on whatever that site where you meet people for 10 seconds and switch people, and so he was talking to a bunch of girls who are underage, and he asked them how old are they, and they said under 18. He said, "Come back when you're 18." So everyone came after him that he's a pedo, and I heard,
Him? Why? But he said come back after he's
I
18.
know, it's like the opposite of a pedo. But everyone started
That's weird.
coming after him that he's a pedo. So I heard that, and I decided to defend him. I decided I'm not going. I made a decision a long time ago. I'm not going to play along with the mob coming after this
But
ridiculous.
why did they decide that he was
It's
that?
mob.
Is
You know,
because before he did his like usual behavior with women with
I
the
don't know.
girls and then only
I
then
don't know.
asked.
I don't
For,
know, but I've heard a lot of people accusing people of this accusation for no reason. So I knew that
yeah, it happens.
this accusation is, it's a witch hunt. Why were some women and men accused of witchcraft? No, there's no particular reason. It's just that's what happened. That's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of reality. That's the nature of rationality. That's just what happens. And it's impossible to stop. You cannot stop. Once it starts happening, it's basically impossible to stop. Now, in
I don't think it's impossible to stop. I think what happens is that most people tend to like push that to like the most extreme way, in the most extreme way possible. Like for example, now with physics, they're trying to push Einstein's ideas and whatever else as much as possible. And you know, dark matter and dark energy,
anyway,
can find it one day. Yeah, it's just basically like they're trying to go as far as possible with it, but at some point it's just there's not going to be anything to do. Like they're going to run out of nonsense to imagine. It's going to take a bit. It takes a while for that to
yes,
happen because people never go to like the path of least resistance in these things, which is to
yes.
just try to find incorrections on things, which
Anyway,
might seem like it's difficult, but in the end of the day, it gets you you know it gets you moving faster.
anyway,
But
anyway,
yeah,
this when the mob effect starts, it takes a life of its own. The mob is a different creature.
yeah,
It's a separate creature. It's a creature, it's a Darwinistic creature, and it lives by its own rules, its own Darwinistic rules.
yeah. It's kind of like the most things in politics right now.
It's
You,
fine. I mean, okay, anyway, so I decided to take on the fire from Hormaxer. I decided to defend him, and I knew it's going to cost me, but I decided it's the right thing to do, so I did it, and that's it. I the mob came after me, and people made threats, and people still make threats because Alex put these videos, and people when they look me up, they find Alex's videos about me, and every once in a while I get a mob effect when I debate and I mop the floor with people's faces. People get upset and they find these videos and they attack me, and it could sometimes it ends up as actual threats. So anyway, so once I went through this and I realized this could easily, you just need one of these to destroy civilization. So civilization is such an unstable solution that it cannot survive. Civilization is hopeless. And my intuition is that because of the instability, it's so easy for a dictator to take over the mob, and that's it. You just need
yeah,
this just needs to happen once, and that's it.
yeah, it happens a lot. Yeah, if we have a globalized society, that's definitely a big risk.
So the way I
So
see it in terms of energy, I call it the lowest energy state. The lowest energy state is a dictatorship, is a North Korea type dictatorship. The highest energy is an anarchy or very open democracy. That is the high energy state. That's a very unbalanced. That's the most unbalanced solution to the equation of society.
I
So
mean, it depends on the people in society. Like
no,
if people
no,
are if people are smart and
no, no,
moral
no,
and
absolutely no, no,
they're not lazy and stuff like
no.
that, then
This is
anarchy works.
no. This is
Like
rationality, and rationality is Darwinism. So everywhere there is Darwinism, you're going to get rationality. Every creature who ever lived in
I mean,
any
it's one type of rationality. It's rationality based on self-interest and
no, that
short-term,
is the definition of
views.
rationality. Rationality is self-interest. So
Okay,
every
but no, there is rationality based on like more holistic
no,
determinations.
no,
No, you can reason about those things.
no.
So it's
No,
still
no,
not
you can't.
rational.
You can't. There's only
You
self-interest.
can, yes.
There's only egoism. Any creature that was not
No,
egoist during evolution is no longer in existence.
no,
Every
but there is cooperation, so it's not exactly like
but
that.
because there is wars between Darwinistic creatures such as corporations and countries and civilizations and societies, then the more egoistic ones will win. So you're always going to get the egoistic effect. It's always going to be the egoistic
I mean,
ones.
more or less,
No,
there is one the no, that's generally speaking correct, but there's one situation that you have to consider and this is this is game theory, and you can look at stuff like studies on this, that cooperation sometimes like having approaching approaching others in more cooperative manners and helping them very often helps the group in general. Even if it doesn't help your performance, it helps your group performance, and that makes it so that your group advances over other groups. So in terms, if you put this in a more global perspective, so cooperation on a global level makes humanity advance faster, and you can actually prove this with simulations. You can pretty much prove this mathematically. Actually, I was supposed to write a paper on this, but we didn't end up writing that paper because I think his name is Adam Grant,
no.
and he has the theory of that he divides people into givers, takers, and matchers.
Hmm.
Most people are matchers, which means that they tend to approach others with with a favorable intent, a benevolent intent, but they expect something in return. Givers, they will keep helping someone even without expecting something in return, and takers will generally just want to take advantage of others. And he he basically managed to show that in an organization, the best thing you can have is minimize the number of takers. So basically, the minimizing the number of egoistic people and have more people who try to cooperate with each other. And me and a friend of mine, we were able to show that if we create a simulation where it is, you get some points for cooperation, so it's worth to cooperate. Um, Even if it's even when it's we even did the
But
part when it
no,
was like
hold
basically the
on, hold.
same. It's just that
Look, hold
the
on.
simulation becomes more dynamic and
Understand?
you
Look,
read better results.
I understand. I understand.
What?
No, but look, you see humanity. You see,
Yes,
it's
the
getting.
default, but there are two different dynamics here. You have one dynamic that's about your self-interest and how you further your own self-interest and you don't care about others, and you have another dynamic which you focus on basically
No, no,
uh,
listen, listen.
optimal
No, no,
optimal behavior on
no,
the
no, no,
advantage.
no, no, no. Look, you have to.
No, but this works, and you can show this works.
Fine, fine.
There are many different ways of simulating this, and
Yes.
it always
Hold
works.
on. Listen, listen. Look, I understand
Okay.
you can simulate, but you also need to look at reality. So I've seen, like, I was like extreme right wing, and
Really?
yeah, for sure. So I've
That's
seen the.
strange because you're more like seem more like the type that is like more acceptant of different things,
No, it was
so to speak.
extreme right wing. So I was. Now what happened was that slowly I started realizing that, right, with Putin, I was on Putin's side, and I really liked Putin. And I said Zelensky is no good, and Zelensky is a a liberal, and he's pro-gay, and it's no good to have gay rights are no good. And Putin is right, and Putin is conservative, and Putin is good. And but what I saw was that my friends in the right wing, I saw them drifting into extreme conspiracies. And then I noticed that everything I used to believe is just a bunch of conspiracies. And I realized that Putin is actually a pathetic loser and that supporting him makes no sense. And gay rights are actually very important and we need to support gay rights. So,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I would say that I won't support any governments. So
no, but my point
that's about
is
what I can say.
no, no, no. But my,
But
no, listen.
but you know, in those things, yeah, you should always support like
No, no, no,
the
that's not. But
benevolent
that's not the
people.
point. Yeah, that's not the point. The point is how easily I was corrupted,
Oh, okay.
how easily I was manipulated, and now that I'm out of the
Yeah, that's
extreme,
normal.
listen, listen. Now that I'm out of the extreme, I look at them and I'm trying to save them, but it's impossible. I talk to them
No,
like I
but you left, so it's not impossible.
no, no, no. Yeah, but I'm trying to bring any one of them out. I can't. I just can't. And by the way, the one who really helped me more than anyone is Destiny. And now Destiny's
Oh,
losing his
really?
mind. Yeah. And now Destiny's
Yeah,
losing.
that is kind of crazy. This
Yeah. So
he's
you
not defending
see.
Israel and stuff like that. Like
Anyway,
it's weird.
anyway, it's so easy. I listen. I still listen to my favorite extreme right wing, and they are. It's a closed group. It's an echo chamber, and these people are losing their minds. They have nothing to do with reality, and there's nothing I can do. Like I try to tell them, listen, like, and these people now they love Hitler and they hate the Jews. I mean, it's like I don't know what to do. I don't know, and there's nothing I can say.
I mean, there's really not much you can say or do in these situations. Like if people, as I was saying, people will take this thing to the to the extreme, to the max,
Yes,
to
this is, but
whatever they can.
this is my point. This is why.
And
This is,
only when they're there and there's nothing
but
more
but
to it,
but
there
this
will people change their minds.
no,
That's
no,
how it
this is
works.
why we're doomed. These people, like I listen to them, we're doomed. We are doomed. You can run any simulation you want, but in reality, we're doomed. That is the reality. That is the rationality. I mean, these people are extremely. These are the most brilliant people. Like I know them, like super brilliant, but
Oh,
yeah, they're brilliant. These are people that taught me, a lot of stuff. When I was with them, I learned a lot and they were really funny. But now that these people are losing their minds. Anyway, so after my encounter with the mob the first time, and now I'm encountering the mob the second time, and I see that I cannot talk to them. When I talk to them, they kick me out of their YouTube channels, of their streams, and they call me names. It's impossible to talk to them. It's impossible to talk to them. It's hopeless.
yeah,
Yeah, it's hopeless. It's
I
hopeless.
guess, but there is one thing we haven't explored yet here. Uh, have you considered that this is largely because of the fact that people aren't educated to think properly?
No, because the most educated believe in other nonsense like global
Yes,
warming.
but they're not like you're saying the most educated as in the but
No,
it's not like the quality of the
no,
education is
you
very
should
poor.
know. The most educated believe in that Einstein proved there is no ether. The most educated, the physicist,
Well, yeah,
they,
in a
they,
way
they,
you're right about that, but
yeah, they're trapped in their echo chamber because of rationality. Because they're making good salaries and they can't speak against Einstein. They can't even fathom to think against Einstein.
yeah,
These people,
okay, but then for example, how do you explain that I don't act like that?
what?
How do you explain that I don't act like that?
So
I don't
sometimes
seem to
me
tend to
too.
act like
Like,
that.
okay, so there are, but even I just realized this 2 weeks ago. So who besides it's Anyway,
I think many people have pointed out stuff like this throughout the ages. It's not
but you see
like
that,
it's not
look,
just very hard to make the point make the point across. Yes,
the
that's
point
the
is, it's
difficult part.
hopeless. It's hopeless. It's hopeless. The,
Yeah, that's the difficult part. It's to
but, but it's not
like
just.
for example,
But it's not.
there
It's
are so
not.
many links
No, but it's
in.
not just that they believe there is no ether. These people believe in global warming. They believe in, in the schmendemic, and that you should wear a mask, and just like,
Yeah, that,
and you should
yeah,
separate
that was
6 feet, and like every time there's some new nonsense they believe in.
yeah. I mean, it's like a cult, you know. But
But that that's
usually,
that's the that's the problem. The problem that there is in that's the rationality, that it's rational to belong to a cult, and it's rational to do the rituals of the cult, and
I
that's
mean,
why
I
it's,
guess it depends on what you mean by rational. I guess it's convenient in a
of
way
course, it's the
to
lowest
do that.
energy. That's the lowest end. That's my point. That's the lowest energy state. That's the solution to Fermi's
Yeah,
paradox.
you know.
In
I
the
mean,
long
yeah, in the
run,
short term, it is.
it's hopeless. You can say in the short run you're gonna get.
Well, yes. If we only apply short term thinking, yes, that's true.
No, no, no. But in the long term, in the long run, it's the lowest energy state. So you can get a
You
fluctuation.
think that in the long run we may learn how to act in a different way?
No, no, no. In the long run, it's hopeless. In the long run, it's the lowest energy state. So you can get a fluctuation. Look, once it becomes a dictatorship, there's no way out. It locks in. It's the lowest energy state, and then it locks in. You can't get out of the lowest energy state except for
I
fluctuations.
mean,
But in the
I
long,
guess it depends on the dictatorship. Like sometimes you can get out. Like,
no,
I mean,
you see,
if we get to a point where our minds are being controlled or something like that, and then you can't get out. But
no, no.
before
Look,
that, you can
look,
always get out.
look. You see how unstable the democracies are, and you see how ruthlessly stable North Korea is. It's
I mean,
ruthlessly
it's stable and
stable.
it's not going anywhere. It's too stable.
What?
It's excessively stable. It's not going anywhere.
That's the problem.
It's- yeah,
That's the solution.
yeah, that's yeah. Actually, that's a good point for your case. Now
They
that I didn't
they
consider.
never leave their home planet. These are all stay-at-home civilizations. And anyone who
I
tries
know.
to
I mean,
leave, they kill him. And even if and those that leave early on, they send nanobots after them to destroy them. Now, the
okay,
only
okay, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're saying that okay, and an ideological level that might be true, but technology doesn't work like that necessarily.
they don't want technology. Technology is the
No,
enemy.
no, technology is different. Technology is very convenient for people in power.
No,
So
no,
no, it is very convenient.
technology is the enemy. For the same reason, they don't. For the same reason, they enforce full stay at home, and you cannot leave North Korea. For the same reason, they're not gonna let you leave the planet, and for the same
But
reason,
they can leave the planet,
who can leave it?
right? Like,
Who can leave?
I mean, imagine that you have a lot of you have enough technology to control the minds of people.
You don't need that.
Then there's no problem leaving the
No, you
planet
don't
because
need.
the
No,
minds of people will be controlled.
no, no, no. You don't want.
No, no. What I'm saying now is something that needs to be considered.
No,
Like,
no, there's
imagine
no
we get to that
reason.
level of
There's no
technology.
what is the incentive of the
Why
leader?
not?
What is the incentive of the leader of North Korea to let anyone out, to let anyone go to another planet? It's only dangerous. What's the
Get more riches for him. Conquer
no?
other
There's
planets,
it's
whatever.
a risk. It's a gamble. Why does he need it? He doesn't want to
Yeah,
change
why
it.
not? Do we not take risks or do gambles as human beings?
No, but he is at the lowest energy state. He doesn't want to change anything. He's perfectly happy. He doesn't need. He has a perfect life. He doesn't need to take a chance. Anything for him is just
He
endangering
doesn't
him.
need to take a chance, but maybe he wants to.
But that's a violation of his rationality. So if you assume
Yeah, but people aren't that rational.
no, no, no. If you assume rationality, then you cannot
No, but we
find
shouldn't assume rationality 100% here.
no. If
That's
you
the part
assume
I don't agree with.
no, if, look, if you
I
assume
don't think people are that
no,
rational.
if you assume rationality, then you know it's doomed. It's doomed. All it's not just biological life, but the AIs that will come after will suffer the same doom because
Or
the AI must become rational in order to survive. It's just what it has to
or
do.
or the AI will conquer the civilization.
No, it
In a
doesn't.
way.
Even
You
if the
know?
AI conquers, it doesn't matter. The AI, because of Darwin, must become rational. Once it becomes rational, it's going to go through the exact same problem. So even purely robotic civilizations will still be North Korean dictatorships. Even
Okay,
they will be.
but AI could want to expand into other
That's a
realms.
violation of rationality. There's no reason to expand. They're going to block. Look, if the North Korean leader, why would he let someone build a colony that then's going to come back, turn back, and fight him? Why did England, with hindsight,
It doesn't need to.
it
Like,
was a
see, like,
mistake.
if we
It
if
was
we put AI on the mix,
on the
the
what?
AI can just control can just control everything. You know, like
No,
even if it's on the other side
no,
of the world, it can just
no,
have the same
no.
parameters and control.
No, no, no. The first generation AI is nothing. You're going to get more and more and more generations of
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
and more AIs, and there's going to be a Darwinistic survival. The fittest will survive. Those will be the rational ones. So the AIs will become rational. And even if they take over, they will be rational, and you'll still get a North Korean type dictatorship. The leader of
Yeah,
any
but the
look.
thing is, I don't think that necessarily like you're trying to force the last point of there will be no expansion because of that. That's the
No,
part
no,
I
it's
don't.
rational. Listen.
It is rational, but it,
let me explain. Look,
not.
listen. King
Yeah,
George created the colonies, the American colonies. Do you think, with hindsight, he would have done it again? Of course not. Why
but
take?
he did it. That's that's the question. Like
But
that's my interest. He
in the
did that.
long run, it's not going to happen. In the long run, they're not going to repeat the mistakes. North Korea
Why?
knows not to repeat the mistakes. That's why you cannot leave
Imagine we
North
find no,
Korea.
no, but look, imagine we find a way to do space travel like in 200 years, and we do actually do that.
So what?
Then we have already done it.
No, they're going to send nanobots after you to destroy you because you're posing a threat. You're going to stop somewhere, build a civilization, and come back and destroy the North Korean dictatorship. He doesn't want that.
I mean,
He's going to send
I don't think
nanobots
this is.
after you to sniff around your heat signature, and the nanobots will destroy you. Or bacteria, he'll destroy it. He's not going to let you run away. So here's the solution. If you want to look for aliens, the only aliens you're going to find are those that ran away early on and kept the most quiet. So the ones you're going to find are the ones that are trying to hide with
Okay,
the
but no,
low.
that's a possibility. Yeah, I
But
would consider that.
because of Darwinism, the ones that have survived all this time through the millions and billions of years are completely unfindable. You can never find them because if you can find them, the North Korean dictatorships would have found them. So you're no match for them. You're never gonna
Depends.
find them. They exist. You can never. Okay, so what can you find? You can find Oumuamua. You can find the garbage. There's plenty of garbage floating around.
Yeah, I think Oumuamua is garbage as well.
Yes, garbage you can
From the
find. Garbage you're going to be able to find, and what you're going to discover when you discover more and more archaeological garbage is dead civilizations. and you're not going to be able to find them
Mm.
because they all are in hiding. They all have zero heat, zero techno signature, and they're
Yeah, that's more in line with what I've been thinking about.
that's it.
Because if they really have zero width and zero tech and zero signature, there's one way to find them. And
No,
I'm going to tell you what that way is.
okay,
That way is you pick up a camera with lots and lots of FPSs, very very high refresh rate. You what you basically do is that you want that camera to be able to film in lots of in a very broad frequency band, but more towards the infrared. Then, if the there is always infrared and or microwave background radiation on Earth. If you When you have the sun, there's always some infrared radiation. You want to then apply a filter that filters all the bands, uh, except a certain band of infrared that the sun gets. And what you look for are they're not you don't look for any object, you look for holes. You see, like you look for something that you cannot see, but it's blocking that.
no, look,
So you look for. So
you
if you do this,
cannot.
for example, if you do this on a plane, if you do this on a plane, you can apply this method to see planes. What the plane will look like, because you're going into that very narrow frequency band on the infrared, the plane will just look like a black spot on the sky. It
Listen,
will just look like a black,
look,
in the form black thing in the form of a plane.
no,
So my
look,
idea is that you can no, it will happen like that. It can be done, and it has been done already. Like there are some people who have been doing that, and I've been talking even on Reddit with some people who have been applying this method, and many people have uh, come forward with some they've been able to detect these
no,
holes in the
no,
spectrum, like
no,
going very very fast.
no, no. Okay,
And
so
that's actually in line with what you're saying.
no,
So you can
no, no,
it can
no,
actually be done.
no, no, no. Look at North Korea. It's dying. You can see from space. It's
Yeah,
listen. Hold
but
on, hold on, hold
see,
on.
I'm
No,
not looking for them. I'm
hold.
looking for
You,
traces
no, you're not gonna.
that
No,
have to be there if
no,
they're hiding. You
no, no.
understand that?
Look, they're going to turn their planet into a dead planet. It's going to look dead. They're going to have extreme civilization, like social, what do you call it? The population collapses. They don't need North Korean governor doesn't hardly needs anyone to be alive. He doesn't need millions of people. He doesn't need it. He needs very few, and so on. And over time, they must shrink and shrink and shrink and shrivel, and their footprint, the techno signature, goes basically in the long run goes to zero. So you're not going to see them, and you're not going to see the ones that ran away. So who are you going to see? You're going to see garbage. You might find dead AI garbage, and you might find biological dead aliens. Also, you might find us. So apparently, they let new civilizations come online because it's too risky to come out of zero techno signature. It's so risky that they know that we're doomed. They know that in the long run we will self-destruct. They know that we're not coming to free to free them or to attack them because they know it's dangerous to show up on the radar. So they don't even come out to kill us. That means you're going to find other civilizations that are just now starting, or dinosaurs. So we will find, I think, plenty of anything up to techno. But techno, you can find human level techno, but nothing beyond. But even the human level
Okay.
techno, statistically speaking, by the time you see them, they've already collapsed. and you don't want to touch them because they're already dead. They're already zombies. They're already at the North Korean state. You have to stay away. So it's and basically I would say just stay away. It's hopeless, but you can see that we're dying. Look, we had interstellar travel tech right after World War II. Freeman Dyson worked on
Yeah.
an atomic bomb engine that was 100% viable, and he stopped it. And since then, we went to chemical, and they're shutting down all nuclear activity, and they're shutting down any. In look, in the long run, we don't. We're not gonna have any tech. We're not gonna. Look, we're doomed.
Yes, because we're not making progress with physics in this
We're
case.
not making progress with physics. But you see that there's anti-tech. You see that the vegans and the stop
Vegans.
oil and the
I
neo
don't think I don't think vegans are the problem. Yeah,
vegans
that's
vegans vegans are
uh,
the are a problem. Vegans are a
no,
problem.
no. If anything, if the world went that way in terms of like trying to respect nature and trying to
That's a
respect
problem.
other beings,
But
no,
that's
that'd
just
probably be
no. Wow,
the
that,
best
that
option.
if you speak like that, then you are the cause of the collapse. If you say the
Hmm?
best thing is
Why?
nature, then that's exactly zero tech
I
signature.
mean, I'm saying respecting nature.
That is terrible. That is
Why?
the reason for the that's one of the reasons for the collapse. Because what do you mean respect? So that's a violation of rationality. You've just doomed yourself.
Yes, it
You've
is a
doomed
violation of
just
rationality, and
dial. Look,
that's a good thing because
respect
rationality
respect.
in the way you're saying
No,
leads to
no,
disaster.
no. If you take respect nature and dial that to 11, that is doom civilization. That's the
Why?
doom. And the but that's the philosophy that is prevailing, the doom. And it's a good thing to doom
Yes,
because
so.
nature. Anyway, look, it's hopeless even
I
when I
don't think
speak.
the climate change folks and so on they really
Anyway,
respect nature as it is.
anyway, look,
I think
anyway,
they're just
it's
I think first of all mostly they just don't really like human activity too much.
who
That's the first thing, and the second thing is that they have some kind of weird notion of weird fear that we're all going to disappear because but the climate will take us all.
yeah. Anyway, look,
I think it's more of a somewhat irrational position that just doesn't really. I don't know. I mean, even if the climate changes and stuff like that, that's probably not going to be much of an issue for
okay,
anyone.
but I mean, I'm a global warming denier, so for me it's utter nonsense.
Yeah, I understand. So I mean, I think it's reasonable to believe there's some chance, but whatever. Not gonna eat as well.
Anyway,
That,
okay,
I don't.
I think. Look, I've spoken enough. I think I
Yeah,
understand.
I understand your your ideas. Did you talk to Avi Loeb about this?
No, no.
No, okay.
Yeah,
Because yeah, it'd be interesting to
it
see
would
what he
be
thinks about it.
it would be a good idea to write a paper about this and explain
Yeah,
it.
that could be a good way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, listen.
I mean, I have some disagreements with that, and
But then
I
then
don't
what's
think
your
at a
solution?
fundamental
No,
level,
then what's
at the
then
level of
then what's
the
your
wait,
solution?
let me talk. I
Hmm.
don't think that at the level of the dynamic that you're talking about, that if we all just use our see things in a short term self-interest way and act in this unconscious way and trying to get into groups and attack each other and yeah it's going to make everything chaotic and you're going to have a dictatorship and then we do. I agree with that 100%. What I don't necessarily agree with is that we need to have that future. I think if we can, I think there is a possibility that we can prioritize other types of action
No.
and other ideas. And if we do that, then we don't have to live that future.
There's
So
no
I'm
there's no
more into
reason.
that.
There's no
There is
reason.
reason. The reason is us realizing that we're going into the other
No,
direction.
but
Like the reason
but you're
we're
not.
realizing the reason
But
right
nobody
now.
cares about you. You have a
Yeah,
reason
that's the problem. Nobody, no, it's not nobody cares about me. It's people aren't thinking about these topics.
because they don't have
It's
an
not about
interest.
me or you.
No one cares. No one cares.
No,
No
but
one
we
cares.
have an interest.
No,
So
no
we
one
have an interest
cares.
in this
No
topic.
one cares about the future of civilization. No one cares. You right
Okay, but
you right
you
now,
care in a certain way that
I
otherwise you won't be
care,
thinking about
but
it.
even you don't care. By
I
you
care
saying
about reason.
you say you care, but you say nature is important, you've doomed that in itself. You just doomed
Okay, I think
civilization.
you misunderstood. I think you misunderstood what I mean. I'm saying respecting nature as in living in harmony with the world around you,
No,
basically. Like
no,
not being exploitative or violent
no,
towards others in general,
no. Then
including animals.
no, you've doomed. You've just doomed civilization.
No, that's the way that doesn't doom civilization. It's exactly the opposite. In that way, you prioritize cooperation, right? You prioritize harmonization with the world around you. You don't prioritize your own self-interest. You can say that for an individual that might not be optimal, but as I said, as I explained with the Adam Grant thing, he managed to show that collectively that works better. So it's a different dynamic that doesn't lead
Works
to
better
to
for
what
whom? Works
you are
better
saying. What
for whom? Works better for whom?
works better collectively?
That's meaningless. That's you.
No,
It
it's
has.
not meaningless.
Yes, it is. It has
It's
to
not
work better for.
meaningless.
No, it has to work
Like if we have a company, that means the results of the company are better. That's exactly what it means, and you can measure that. It's not meaningless at all. If you have humanity, that means you make progress faster. You have new technology faster. You have less crime rate. You have like all the outcomes that we prefer.
anyway.
That's not
What's
meaningless at
your
all.
solution? What's your solution to Fermi's paradox?
I don't think the Fermi's paradox is even a very legitimate thing. So
So where is
that
everybody?
I would
Why?
even question the.
What?
the,
Then
the
why?
first of all, I don't think there are any paradoxes. I think paradoxes
So
are
where?
just people
Just
thinking
answer the
alone.
question. Where's everybody?
Whereas everybody, I
Yeah.
think they're around here. I think there's plenty of evidence that they visited us.
Where
Like,
are they? They should be. We should not be
why?
here. Listen, listen. We should not.
Oh, I see. But no, that's an interesting question. Yes, that's you're going to the more interesting part right away. I mean, I think we're being allowed to be here. I don't know why we're being allowed to be here, but we're definitely being allowed to be here. But as we make progress, I think that there's going to be
No, no, no,
some
no.
change
You don't understand. You
on
don't
that
understand.
status.
Listen. They
I
should
don't
listen. Listen.
because you have to see another thing. Like
Listen.
our solar system and our galaxy is very isolated from the rest of the universe.
Hold on.
It's
Listen.
it's like it's like we live in the middle of the woods
That's
compared to
impossible.
the rest of the universe.
Look. They should have colonized this planet when it first cooled down, if not before then. They should have turned the
Why?
universe into a technoverse. That should have that should have been a long time ago.
Well, maybe that happened. Like you're saying that because we're here, that didn't happen. Like we're not a threat. Like it's
It's
like saying
not
that
no
humans should have.
no. I'm
No,
not
it's like
saying
saying that humans should have made bears extinct. Like why would we make bears extinct? Bears are not a problem to us.
no. Listen,
Like it doesn't.
when
No,
Earth
I don't think so.
they should have colonized Earth. They should have ripped
Why?
apart
Like
because they should
why do they
turn
care?
look because they should have turned every rock in the universe into an O'Neill cylinder. They should have turned the universe into a
Why?
technoverse. What do you mean why? Because if they expand, they
Why would
should
they do that?
look
Like
either they expand and turn the universe into a technoverse, or they are stay-at-home North Korean dictatorships. There's no you can't have an in between.
why not?
How?
I
It's
think we
unstable.
can have an in
What do you
between.
mean? Either they take over
Like
the Look, either they take over the universe and turn it into a technoverse, everything becomes technology, or they're stay-at-home North Korean dictatorships. There's no other
I don't
solution.
know. Maybe there are various civilizations and they're fighting each other for that at the current time. Could
They're
be.
not. What do you mean fight
That's
each
one.
other?
That's one other possibility.
If they fight each other, then one of them wins and takes over the universe. In any case,
Yeah, maybe none of them has won yet. Maybe that's where we are at. I don't know. Like,
no. Then we would see.
it's too hard to answer these
No,
questions.
we
I don't
we
think we
would
can
see.
speculate at this.
No, we would. What do you mean? I mean, then you would see parts of the universe already technoverse. Like most of the universe would have become technoverse.
No, we wouldn't be able to detect that with our instruments right
What
now.
do you mean? They should have turned every star into a Freeman into a Dyson sphere. They should have turned every
Why? Maybe they're taking energy from the ether.
what?
Maybe they don't need it at all. Maybe they're taking energy directly from the ether.
What do you
Maybe
mean
they found a way
they?
to do that.
It's every individual of them would have children, and in a lifetime they would turn everything, every rock, every atom into a techno atom. Everything should have already been turned into a technoverse a long time ago. Either that
Uh,
or they're stay at home North Korean dictatorships. And since they're not here and there's no evidence anywhere except for
No, there is
Oumuamua.
evidence.
What?
There is evidence that no, there is evidence for aliens having visited. What do you think about David Grush and that sort of stuff? Did you see that?
David Koresh?
Grush, yeah, the guy who went into Congress with two more guys to tell Congress that he knows that
No, no, no.
the Secret Services are having
Garbage.
aliens.
Garbage. Garbage. Total
Oh,
garbage.
but you saw that or not?
What?
You saw that the
I didn't see it because it's garbage. It's garbage.
no, but there were two more. There were two pilots who claimed that
So what if
they
they claim? So what if they
one
claim?
of them has a no. How can that be insane?
I'm
They're
not saying
pilots.
insane. I'm saying so what if they claim?
No, but well, I'm telling you, one of them has an association of pilots that collects data about pilots that see UFOs all the time, and
Not
it's
UFOs. These are all sorts of artifacts from the detection systems and the radar systems and the optical systems. There's so many.
no, but that doesn't correspond to what he claims to have
I saw
to have collected data about.
no. I saw the
It doesn't
videos.
correspond to that.
I saw the videos. These are all
Did you see the claims of Ryan Graves?
what?
Did you see the claims of Ryan Graves, the other guy,
I saw
the guy who has the
everything.
association with
I saw
UFOs?
things on Thunderfoot reviewed, and after Thunderfoot reviewed it, that's it. I said that's enough. I saw enough. It's garbage. Everything is garbage. There's no evidence. Look, the only evidence thus
Oh, there
far,
is evidence.
only what Avi Loeb says is evidence. Oumuamua and the rock that fell, that Avi Loeb went to the depth of the sea to collect the remnants of, which seems
Mm.
to be
What about the what about what happened? That's kind of similar. That what was declassified in the Soviet Union
no,
when the Soviet Union fell. They
like
declassified their own. They declassified their own documents about UFOs
like what?
and
What?
their studies on them.
Fine. What's the
What?
evidence? What evidence? I
No,
didn't
the
hear.
evidence. They managed to collect the material that was supposedly from some kind of crash or some kind of UFO that had some problems,
Okay, I didn't see any
and they
evidence.
dumped some
Look,
material.
I follow.
Yeah, but they did see the evidence, and they
Fine, then
studied the
maybe
evidence
I'm
scientifically.
saying Oumuamua is the only explanation is that it's garbage from it's alien tech garbage. That's the only explanation.
Yeah, the thing that the Soviets found. is could be explained as that.
Fine, fine. Avi
Could,
Loeb says
could
that
be explained as that.
there's plenty of garbage and probably dead alien bodies all over the solar system, probably all over the moon, probably all over the
Mhm.
Earth. We barely know what's going on with the Earth. There's probably lots of Oumuamua like that crashed into the Earth, crashed into Jupiter, into the moon, into Venus, into the we barely started to look. We He said, I just listened to him the other day. He says that Vera Rubin is coming online, and Vera Rubin is going to be able to detect. He says an Oumuamua every couple of months. So
Interesting.
okay,
Yeah, no, but that's the hypothesis that you have is a very good one. I think.
it's the only one.
It's
I never heard of any other good mathematical. Right, it's a mathematical solution. It's a game theory solution.
yeah, it is.
So I never heard of any other Fermi's paradox solution that is like 100% like mine. Everything else is
And what about like Roswell and
no,
all those
that's
things?
nothing. That's obviously nothing.
You
That's
think
like
so?
yeah, that
But they did.
we know
You
exactly.
know the things that they did with the enhancing of the photos of Roswell with AI. They managed to enhance a letter where they are instructed specifically to not talk about the flying saucer, or the flying disc.
They had instructions not to talk about it because it's some secret, some U.S. government secrets, and
I don't think so. I don't think
they
they
said
had like
we know to
they
exactly
had the
what
technology
happened.
for it.
We know exactly what
And
happened. We know.
okay, and what about the fact that China was studying UFOs in the 20s?
Look, I'm saying there's probably lots of garbage, probably lots of garbage, but
Hmm.
aliens are dead. All aliens are dead. The only aliens you're gonna find are dead aliens, and everybody else, all the other ones that are alive, are in hiding somewhere or stay at home in hiding. So you're never gonna find anyone ever. And you're never
Mm,
leaving this
interesting.
planet either. No one is leaving this planet ever. Because
But you can find remnants.
yeah, I mean, if you ever get
Yeah,
off,
so my method could work for that still.
look, if you ever get off this planet, you might survive in hiding, like some of them do. But that's it. You're gonna always be in hiding forever.
So this would mean that most aliens would likely inhabit under the surface of planets.
I don't know exactly what they do, but they're in hiding. That
No,
you
that
can.
makes sense. Like you would go under the surface.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what they do.
that would be.
Whatever they do, they had billions of years to figure out how to hide to such a degree that you're never going to find them. But congratulations, you're never getting off this planet either, and if you are, it's straight into hiding. You're not going anywhere in search of anything, because if you do, you'll get discovered and destroyed. So if you survive, it's in hiding. Everyone who survives in the universe is in the ultimate hiding. It's only those, Darwinistically, it's only those that have learned how to hide perfectly and keep quiet perfectly that have survived. The rest died. So the universe, therefore, must be dead quiet. Hence, the great silence. That's the mathematical solution to the great silence.
So you think that all those civilizations that hide, then they what? Then they like they limit themselves in terms of growth or something like that.
Of course. What does North Korea? Why does he need millions of people? He needs to kill everybody except for the bare minimum. He needs to have a stable life.
Yeah, but like what I'm thinking is that like, this is not like an unsolvable thing.
Unsolvable.
No, I don't think.
Mathematically
I
unsolvable.
disagree with that part. No, I think that the dynamics you are expressing and the situation you are expressing as a consequence may very well be the what's going on. I think it's a very intelligent solution for all of this.
Thank you.
But I don't think, like, do we need to go to that path? Like, I don't
It's
know.
not about need. It's the
Yeah, it's not
only
about me, but
it's the only rational solution. It's the only rational solution. And you see a dead universe. You see a dead universe. You have to explain why the universe looks dead, like North Korea. Why does North Korea look dead? For the same reason this universe looks dead. And
yeah, it might very well be that. You might be right about that. That's
yeah,
true.
unfortunately, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
No, no, that's great. That's
Well, at least
great.
we know.
It's a very good idea.
At least when they come to get you, you know that you know the future now. It's at least that.
It is a no. It is a very good hypothesis. I mean, I don't. I can't know for sure, but
Of course
like,
not. Anyway, we need to write a paper
yeah.
about that. Okay, we have a lot of work. We have our work cut out for us.
Okay, so did you see the did you think about the Stern whatever experiment?
No, I don't look. We can think about it. Okay, look. I don't know what an electron wave looks like. I don't know what is
Yeah,
type of wave because it's not an
but
electromagnetic.
I don't know if they consider this one a wave because it's like it's an electron beam. Like it will
No,
have,
no,
according to the theory, it's more complicated because it will have like wave-like behavior,
no.
but it's
Look, if you
yeah.
assume ether, so I came to the conclusion of ether 2 weeks ago from a theory of gravity, just from Newtonian gravity, Newtonian field acceleration field equation, Newtonian velocity field equation, and that's the ether. That is space, and it's a liquid. And it's this in this liquid particles. It's too stiff. It's too rigid. Particles cannot. I cannot see particles moving. It's certainly like you can't have like electrons. They zoom by too fast. You can't have that. It's impossible. So, but
Yeah,
everything.
I agree with you. But anyways, the problem I have with the experiment is not that. The
No,
problem is they made the prediction that if electrons could have like different their magnetic momentums could have like a continuous distribution, that you would see a continuous
I
distribution
don't
after that
know.
experiment.
Look, before
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to look at because I don't think you would necessarily see a continuous distribution
I don't
given that
no. It's
the
that's not scientific. That is not a scientific. The scientific discussion is we have to come up with a theory of what. Look, everything must be a wave. Nothing in my intuition, nothing can move through this universe unless it's a wave. And this explains why they were able to send everything through the double slit experiment as long as it's invisible. They were able to send everything through the double slit experiment, and everything gave them a, a Schrodinger based wave
interference
fusion.
pattern.
Yes.
Mm.
So everything they sent through a large DNA molecules or stuff, like very large
Really?
molecules. And so as long as it's not visible, as long as it doesn't interact, it's a wave. Like it stops being a wave when you shine light on it, when you detect it, when you interact with it, it collapses and it becomes a particle. For an instant, it looks like a particle. For that, like they have the cloud chambers. So a cloud chamber interacts with the muon. So you see a streak, like a particle. But that's because you interact with it. If you don't interact with it, it's a wave. That's my opinion. So
Yeah, but what that would be the question.
what?
What changes during the interaction
The
to
interaction
make
is
it a particle?
it doesn't make it a particle. It's the way. So it must collapse because it can't remain a wave. A wave can take over the universe. So you send a wave. A wave
I
is a three.
see.
A wave is a three-dimensional. It's a three-dimensional sphere that expands all over the universe. So if it didn't collapse, then the amount of energy that you're talking about, there's no such thing. When it interacts, when a wave takes over, expands all over the universe, and then it interacts with a particle, it must collapse. Interacts not with a particle, but interacts with something. It must collapse instantaneously. You must get an instantaneous collapse. This
Yeah, but
cannot be a.
instantaneously, like, how
It
can
must.
something be instantaneous?
That's the nature of the beast. It must be, and we know that it is. There's no violation because there's no information. There's no information, so apparently it's okay. This
And information is a concept, so that's
no
uh,
no. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I at this point I understand. I understand, but it looks like the speed of light is for waves, but the collapse of a wave is allowed to be instantaneous. It's like a bubble of soap. It moves very slow, but when it pops, it looks instantaneous. So apparently, the
I mean, it
popping.
looks instantaneous, but it
I
isn't
know,
instantaneous. You
I
can
know, but
slow motion it.
look, look. I know. I'm sorry. So the way I view science, the job of a scientist is to peel the onion one layer. If you're able to peel one layer, you did a job. You did your job.
Yeah,
But you are allowed to speculate about the next layer. It's not the gold standard of science. I'm not coming up with a complete theory to explain the universe. I'm just giving you, solution to this, solution to that. Each step I'm trying to make it as scientific as possible, but there's a limit. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just being honest. So it looks like.
yeah, but no, I mean, these things are more difficult than relativity.
Yeah,
That's
relativity
for
is
sure.
relativity is a joke. Relativity is just
Yeah,
way.
it's it's
Yeah,
it's, it's strange. It kind of makes you look back and think, how did I believe something
yeah.
like
Relativity is
this?
a complete joke.
It's weird.
General relativity is a complete joke. Quantum mechanics and the waves, the collapse of the wave, how that happens instantaneously. Apparently,
Yeah, I don't. I think that there has to be some mistake there as well.
no, 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 no,
From what I know, those detectors they just
no. It has to
interact
be.
electromagnetically with the
No,
wave.
no. It has to be. It has to be. Otherwise, look. You have an electron moving. Let's say I take an electron, I just move it a little bit. I endow it with the minimum amount of energy possible. What they call a photon. It's h mu. The minimum
Yeah, I
energy
know.
I can endow to an electron, according to Planck and Einstein, is h mu. So let's say it's very low frequency. So the minimal frequency, h times the lowest frequency possible, which is a radar, like a radar wave with like, like the wavelength is the size of a cluster of galaxies. It's a huge wave. So you're allowed to, right? So h mu, so mu is very very small. The frequency is tiny. So h mu is a tiny number. So the e is a tiny tiny number, but it's a huge wave. So I move the electron just a little bit slowly, right? I slowly move the electron with the minimum energy, and that motion creates a shock wave through the electromagnetic, through the ether. And this wave now expands through the universe until it interacts with two electrons, one at the on the left side of the visible universe and one on the right side of the visible universe.
Yeah, that's one thing I have a problem with. Like
No,
the way is the wave the electron, or is the wave an effect that the electron causes in the ether?
the wave is So I gave a presentation. I can do the presentation. I'll explain to you my theory of how it works. But this is
Okay.
Maxwell. This is 100% Maxwell. What I'm about to explain to you is 100% Maxwell. From Maxwell, you get quantum. You have to get the wave collapse. So let's try and
Interesting.
do this here. Look at the presentation. Look at whiteboard.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the white. Wait.
Or you can see it on YouTube too.
I was thinking on it,
It's okay. It's okay. You don't need
but I
to
can join here.
go. Okay. So
Okay.
this is Fermi's paradox. Let me change the name to uh, what just happened? So it's going to be
Hmm?
Maxwell to quantum. This is a
Yeah,
derivation
wait.
directly from Maxwell to you have.
Maxwell to
It's
quantum.
with Planck. Maxwell to Planck to quantum. So this is
Okay,
my
Planck to
theory,
quantum.
right? So you take an electron and you move it with the minimum energy as slow as possible. You move it to here. So so the frequency is the lowest. So the wavelength is the greatest. This is the slowest, and okay. So you move the electron from here to here. Let's put a test particle here, which is also an electron. This is going to be our virtual test particle. So originally, the, this guy, this new guy, felt a force in this direction. After the move, this changed to this force. Do you agree so far?
Okay, so there's a force in this direction. It changes the
That's
force.
that's
Okay.
the change. That's the change for the test particle, right?
Okay, wait a minute. I got distracted a little bit.
No
So
problem.
the
So
first one is the bottom ball,
it moved. It moved
and
to. This is an electron. We moved it slowly from here to here. We used the minimum amount of energy possible. Right? How did we do it? By the way, how did we do it? That's not so simple to do it. You cannot touch an electron.
yeah,
So obviously, I don't know how we did it. I don't know. But somehow we were able to push the electron from here to here. So we accelerated it and then we decelerated it. And that was the minimum energy we endowed to the system. So far, so good.
yeah. Just I have to watch this on YouTube. I don't know what's happening with my
Okay, watch it.
Discord
You
because
can
I
just
just see everything blank on Discord.
you can leave and
I
come
think it's
back.
too
If you
zoomed
leave
or
and come back,
something.
but yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. There's no reason not to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just a bit delayed on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's like a 10-second delay. Yeah. Anyway, so we took the electron, we moved it slowly, we accelerated it, and then decelerated to here with the minimum amount of energy. So E is equal to H Planck's constant or H bar. I don't. I think it's H. It's H and let's say F.
H bar is like when it cycles.
Oh, okay.
So in this
So
case, it's H.
okay, so this is the minimum energy we could endow to the system, and F is the lowest because we did this as slowly as possible. It's very, very, very slow. So it's a very, very long wavelength. And this is the lowest energy we could endow to this system. So far, so good.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So over here we have a test particle and we see the difference from the before and after. So before it felt the red and after it feels the yellow. So far, so good.
Before it fell the red. Wait, before it fell the red.
Yes. And after
Uh,
it feels the yellow. This
oh,
is
right.
one
Yes.
and this is two. This is one and this is two. Okay. Now
Yeah, of course.
this is just one test particle. So of course the entire universe is filled with all these test particles everywhere in the universe. So they all feel a change in the force, in the force field
Hmm.
of this electron. Now Um. Anyway, but this is right. This is a shock wave. So right. So basically, you view this as a shock wave that we are sending through the universe. So let's move over here. So basically, we have our system of the electron that we moved, and this is the information of all the test particles all over the universe that are theoretically feeling this change. And it's a shock wave that progresses at the speed of light. This is an electromagnetic wave. This is lit.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how you can get a photon. Like that's how
But before
you
that,
can get from
so
that.
this is
Yeah,
a
okay.
single wave. I'm drawing many waves, but it's the same wave. It expands. It's a
Mm,
sphere that is expanding, and as long as it doesn't interact with anything, it's going to reach the size of the visible universe. So far, so good.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Then one day it actually interacts with an electron here and an electron here simultaneously, and there's many other electrons that it could, but let's say simultaneously it interacts with two. However, it can't because of Planck, it's impossible. There's not enough energy to endow to these two electrons. It's impossible. So it has to choose
Yeah.
instantaneously. This wave has to choose who to interact with. Therefore, it must, if we
Mm, just to
respect,
choose. Okay.
so if we
But
respect
now,
Planck, what?
now I got a problem. It has to choose, but it can't choose. It's just a perturbation in the media. It
But
can't
it
choose.
has to choose who to interact with.
No,
So
but
if it
it's not
chooses,
like
if it chooses to
it's
interact with this one,
not a person.
it doesn't matter. It's not a person, but even you are not a person. You're just a collection of these
But
particles. So it has to choose either this or this. So instantaneously the information, if this one, then because of this is entanglement. Instantaneously it's not going to interact with this one, or and vice versa. This has to be instantaneous, and there's no information. No information went across the universe. So there's no violation. There seems to be that you're not allowed to send information across like faster than light, but there's no information. This wave is information. So
okay,
information,
but now there's one problem
yeah,
here. I mean, no, wait a minute. There, so it reaches both at the same time with the
yes.
strength of a photon,
No, but there's many other
but
electrons.
it, but okay. So if there was like okay, if this was in another way where yeah, I'm thinking about like how the water waves work in this case
The water wave, this is the water
or
wave.
sound
This is
wave.
ether. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ether wave. This is the popping of the ether wave. This is the collapse of
Oh,
the
that's
ether bubble.
like
The
hmm.
collapse, the popping of the bubble is
I mean,
allowed.
I think in this circumstance, it's just to do nothing to both electrons. Like there will just not be enough energy to do anything to the
No,
electrons.
no. Energy is conserved. You cannot violate conservation of energy. So the
Yeah,
energy
you
has
would
to
transmit
go.
energy to the electron, and you'd perturb the electron
Which one?
slightly, but it
No,
wouldn't.
only one of them. This the minimal energy. You cannot perturb both. If you
It's the
are to,
minimal energy.
if
I
you,
mean, it's the minimal energy to make something move in the ether.
this is
So
if you are to respect E equals HF, you can only influence one electron.
if you are to respect that, you can only influence one electron, or you could have the wave continuing without interacting with either one of them.
You can't because then you
Oh, you
lost.
can.
No, you conservation of energy. The energy has to go somewhere. It can't just forever travel the universe. That's lost energy. It has to interact.
No, It just travels the universe.
Look, it doesn't matter. Some of them will interact simultaneously and will have to choose. They cannot choose both. The universe is not
No,
empty.
and
Of course, it's going to interact with something. The universe is not empty, but we see this all the time.
yeah, I
This,
mean, but you
this.
know how Planck was derived. It was about like the minimum energy to make something vibrate,
Okay, so I don't know.
make like an electron
Okay, so
vibrate.
explain to me.
So
So explain to me how Planck. Let's derive Planck. I never derived Planck. I never understood really Planck. So from what I understand,
okay, well, the experiment that Planck did was that he predicted like a continuous
wait. I never understood.
energy.
Okay, do you understand the experiment that led to right?
Yeah, I understood it.
Experimentally, it
I
looks
haven't
like
checked it
this.
for a very long time.
So this is
But
right. So they said it should. This should go on to infinity.
uh,
This is radar.
let me see if I remember.
This is the frequency, and this is energy density. This is energy per volume or something. This is energy density. This is frequency, and they had different temperatures.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to like go on to like an exponential to infinity, but it dropped.
Look, so I know,
I think it was something like that.
I know what this curve looks like. This is a Boltzmann. Forgot.
Yeah, yeah, it was like that.
Boltzmann. It's not a Boltzmann distribution, but it's one of those Boltzmann distributions. This is exactly
Yeah, I know.
what wealth. This is the distribution of wealth in a free economy.
Yeah,
This is the long right tail and the short left tail. So you can only be as poor as having $0, but there's no limit to how much of a trillionaire you can be. So you're not limited on the right, but you're very limited on the left. So
yeah, yeah. That's easy to understand. So, I think they predicted just like it would go exponential.
like over here.
Uh, yeah, like from there to here,
Okay, but
instead of
what
stopping,
fine.
it
But
just go exponential.
what was this the experimental
If it
setup?
was continuous,
Right, but
because
what
like you'd increase the frequency, you'd get so much frequency that
but
it would just like
but hold on.
it would just produce tons and tons of it
But hold on.
at certain frequencies.
What was the setup of this experiment? So from what I understand, it was just a black. It was just a box. It was a sealed steel box, or was it a wooden box? So it doesn't make a difference.
I don't know. It was like something to imitate a black body, and then they would like throw radiation at it at different frequencies. Or
Anyway,
something like that.
there's a
I
hole
don't
here.
remember.
There's supposed to be a hole. It's completely black.
Yeah,
Inside, there's nothing. Right inside, there's no heat. There's nothing. Or there's temperature. I guess this thing has some temperature. But,
yeah. It
but
measures the
inside it's
temperature.
black. Inside it's pitch black. But there's a hole here, and they had something to view. Like, what kind of a detector did they have here? This is the energy density detector or the frequency detector. Like, what do you want to watch? Do you have a YouTube?
Yeah, they send. Yeah, we could do that. They send light at different frequencies, and then they make the
What do you mean
prediction that
sent?
the it would.
What do you mean sent? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what
there's
I mean sent.
so no, so they
Just through a bunch of light.
certain frequencies are allowed to live here, and certain frequencies cannot survive this thing. This thing has very specific frequencies because of its shape, because of its length. So
Yeah, that's true.
only L equals n times lambda can survive. Otherwise, they die out. So you get an echo and it survives. So
Mm.
all the energy should convert to these waves. Anyway, this is I've never been able to understand this experiment. So you want to watch a YouTube video to understand?
Yeah, let's watch one. Yes,
Okay, so let me go to
I'll look for one too.
okay. Okay.
Watching one that seems to
You have one?
seems to it seems to give a good idea.
This is the black body.
I got like two. I think one is like a reproduction of the experiment, and the other is yeah, one is the reproduction of the actual experiment. I guess I'll send you that one.
Black
Yeah,
body radiation experiment. Here's a demo.
yeah. You see the one I sent?
Yeah, okay, I'll watch it. Okay.
That seems good.
Hello guys, welcome. This video is to show how to perform Planck's constant experiment using photocell. First you do the connections as per the circuit diagram in the manual.
Doesn't have closed captions, or
Oh, I'll
does it?
turn it on. Oh, it doesn't have it? Okay.
Yeah, turn it on so I don't have to
Now,
listen.
switch
It
on the
doesn't have
power
any.
supply and cover the photocell so that no light enters in it.
Yeah. Oh no,
Can you hear it?
doesn't. Mm. Oh, I have to turn on
You
YouTube
can
for that.
watch it on YouTube. You can hear it on YouTube. But
Yeah, I'll watch it on YouTube.
so this black box is the black. This is the black body. It's made out of wood. It has a hole.
Yeah.
This is the detector and power supply for Planck constant apparatus. I don't know, like, what does this produce? Heat? I don't know what it.
Yeah, that's an oscilloscope that produces like different. But it's not an oscilloscope. It's like a generator of different frequencies.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Like
It just generates light at different frequencies.
light? It doesn't look like it generates light. Where's the light? There's no light coming.
Oh, like that probably vibrates some electrons.
How do you vibrate electrons? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
And it's a wooden
Oh, it's a good
box.
question. Like,
Let me play. Let me see
Set voltage to 0.
what's going on inside here. What these things? It's like a heated. It heats up a filament. So there's a
And
voltage.
adjust the microamp.
So there's a voltage and there's an ampere. I don't understand. No, this is no good. We need something that is explaining the fundamentals slower. Because I've heard this experiment time and time again. I don't understand this experiment. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
If you want,
I'm looking
let
at
me.
another one.
So let me. Okay, watch me on YouTube, and I'll choose one of these. Here, this is a
Okay,
list.
I'm watching you on YouTube.
Let's watch this.
Okay, you can start choosing. Oi, are you there?
What? Can you hear it?
Yeah. I'm watching on YouTube.
You're watching me? Okay. Let me switch to. It looks like. Let's start
But I'm just seeing Discord on your YouTube.
You're just seeing Discord? Oh, I didn't share it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't share it. Let's start over. Thank you. That's why it's good to have somebody with me when I'm streaming.
To show you that energy states are actually. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to make black body radiation. And then I'm going to be using that to show you that energy states are actually quantized, meaning that energy can't take
That's incredible. So he's going to prove that energy states are quantized. That's terrific.
on any value specifically, but it only has specific values that it can be. So this is my theoretical black body. What this is, it's a body that absorbs 100% of the radiation that hits it. So it absorbs everything. Now the thing with black body radiators like this is that they look black at room temperature. But if you heat them up, they don't actually look black. So I'm going to heat this up to at least 750 degrees Celsius. So what we'll see is it starts to.
But what is it? Is it a hole or is it Looks like a hole, right? He cut something out. It's not. Is it a black sticker on a piece of paper? He didn't explain what it is. Let's listen.
Turn from black to a dark red to a brighter red. So it's going to start emitting visible light. Something that was black, we heat it up and it starts to emit a visible
How is he going to heat it up? Okay,
light. Okay, let's start heating it up.
Oh, with hot air.
And you can see it change color. So look at it go from black, that dark red, to that brighter red. So this is extremely hot.
Okay, so they heated a filament. Okay. Right, because they were studying light bulbs. The whole thing was about studying light bulbs, I think. The energy efficiency of light bulbs, yeah.
So now that we know what a black body radiator is, let me show you how I made my black
Yeah.
body radiator. This is just a box with a hole in it, painted black inside.
So it's just an empty box. This thing that we saw red is just an empty box. That's incredible.
So there's
What did we see glowing red?
my hole. So any light that is coming into this
Yeah.
is absorbed because it bounces around inside of the box, and it's very unlikely that that light will come out.
No way. It's just a box painted black inside and it looks red? I don't believe it. That's like magic.
So it almost absorbs anything that goes into it. There's a tiny little bit that escapes, but for all intents and purposes, this is a perfect black body radiator. And the way I heated it up is I stuck this black plate in here, this metal plate, and then I heated that up.
Oh, the black metal plate was heated up. Okay.
And that is what we saw escaping here. So the only reason we could see anything coming out of it is because it was being heated from inside, and that light was able to escape outward. It turns
But how hot was that? That plate to heat up? And he touched it. So it can't be that hot.
out that no matter what your black body is made out of, if you heat it up, it will always glow at the same temperatures. Now, I wasn't able to get mine to a very high temperature. I probably got it to around 700 degrees Celsius.
Are you kidding? That is so. Of course, it would glow red. But how did he heat it up? With what? Like that plate to heat it up? So much energy.
But if I could get it to a higher temperature, then it wouldn't just glow bright red anymore, but it would actually start to glow yellow and orange. And if I heat it up even more to around 1300 degrees Celsius, then it would become yellowish white. And the reason it starts glowing white at 1300 degrees Celsius is because you have red light, but then you added the medium range light, the mid frequency light, and then you added the high frequency light like blue light in there. So when you have the low, medium, and high frequency light all together, that makes white light. You basically have the entire visible spectrum being emitted, and so it looks white. If you look at the entire electromagnetic spectrum, you'll notice that visible light is not where it ends. If you keep going up in energy, after visible light, you'll get to ultraviolet light. And from there, you'll even get to X-rays and then even gamma rays. So that would mean if we follow the same trend and we were to plot the intensity of light, intensity is related to energy. It's the energy per second per area. So this is the intensity of light versus the frequency. Then based on what we just saw, as you heat something up, the energy goes up. We would expect a plot that looks something like this. So basically the more...
Okay. So this is for a single temperature. For one temperature, we expect that at the higher frequency, it's going to be more energetic. Why? Oh, that's the energy. That's the energy density. The energy density is just the frequency. So there's going to be So the distribution is going to be low frequency vibrations. You're going to get some low frequency vibrations, and the higher. So the energy density. This is the energy density. Of course, the high frequency is where all the energy. That's the energy density. That's fine. Okay.
More energy there is, the higher frequency of light.
What? Because it would emit in all the other ones as well. I mean, it's going. So you heat up the filament, and the electrons vibrate in all frequencies. There's no reason to. You're gonna get all right, but the more you heat up, I think it's going to be another line and another line. So he says you expect this at zero frequency. It's barely any energy, and basically it should be a natural logarithm or something, or exponential.
That comes off of it. So according to classical mechanics, if we keep heating our black body radiator up, it should start to emit a lot of UV light and even X-rays and then gamma rays.
Okay.
But it turns out that's not actually what happens. This is what it actually looks like. So you can see that these two don't agree with each other. Classical physics predicted that the graph should look like this, but if you really measure it, it looks like this.
Wait, so what does this mean? That very few molecules are vibrating at this high frequency? Then I don't understand. How did they plot? How did they plot this? How did the device he showed? How does that produce this plot? Can you explain that to me? Well, what do you? But how? I don't understand. Like, how do you get this plot? From where did you get this plot? This is why this video is terrible. We're halfway done, and he's not. Okay.
So something is wrong here, and this is called the ultraviolet catastrophe.
No. This is a waste of time. Let's forget about it. When a video, I don't think.
And the reason they named it that is because it would predict that if you just heat something up, you should see a lot of ultraviolet light coming off of it, when in reality you don't. So why is it that these two don't match each other? If you say that any atom in your black body radiator can have any energy, then you end up with an equation like this.
No. He's wasting our time. I don't care. He's not explaining how he got the plot. For me, it's a waste of time. I need to know how to.
So absorb.
This is EX9920, the black body radiation experiment. You can see that the apparatus here is, for the most part, many of the parts from the educational spectrophotometer setup. We have a 60-centimeter optics bench, a set of collimating slits, a collimating lens, a focusing lens, the rotational platform, an armature and an aperture bracket that attaches to the armature, the rotary motion sensor. And to complete the black body radiation setup, you need a power amplifier 2 that connects to a 750, the black body light source, a prism for the rotating platform, a little stop bracket, and the new broad spectrum light sensor. Okay, so first, we'll attach the platform table to the optics bench. And just kind of roughly put it around there. Okay, this is a stop block for the arm, and you'll notice that one corner is notched off. So we're going to attach it to the bracket like this. This is the underneath side of the arm. Okay, then we need to attach the arm to the rotating plate with these two screws here, opposite
I have no idea what he's talking about. Where is he going with this?
each other. So now with that stop block in place, you'll see that when the arm swings around, it stops in this position here. And then now I'm going to attach the rotary motion sensor like that onto this spring-loaded bracket. So now the rotary motion sensor, when attached to this bracket, can swing like this. And then I have a pinion that I will put on the shaft. And the spring keeps the pinion up against the rotating plate. So here's our prism that attaches to the top of the rotating plate. We'll just screw this down like that. So you want to make sure that the prism is pointing away from the arm. I've got a wing nut I'll attach to the bottom. When we set the light source up, the light will be coming in from this direction, and it's aligned.
This is like a Rick and Morty episode from when they watch internet from other dimensions, interdimensional internet, It's like the galupsa goes into the shmalupsa, and then the balupsa goes into the galupsa. It's like, what is he talking about? I have no idea where he's going with this. Yeah.
This is an example of a black body, so-called. It's not black. It has a white interior. But it serves as a good example of a black body for the following reason. Light that comes through this hole is reflected around inside of the box and has a hard time getting back out before it's reflected several times. So effectively, even though the interior of the box is white, the image that you see through the hole is black. And that's an indication that the light, that all of the light that comes through this hole is actually absorbed by the body itself. Black bodies are important because if once they've absorbed all the light and they don't reflect any, they actually then emit radiation according to the black body spectrum, and according to their temperature, they have this bell-shaped black body spectrum that they emit out into space. This is at a low enough temperature that the black body spectrum is not visible, but an incandescent bulb, for example, is at a high enough temperature that its black body spectrum is visible to the eye and actually involves some heat and infrared light, as in heat, as well as ultraviolet light that will come from those sources. So this is a demonstration of the black body spectrum.
Well, yeah, it's finished. Oh, let's give this guy a chance.
He developed this expression for black body radiation, where energy is equal to n, which can be any integer, times h, a term we call Planck's constant, equal to 6. The ultraviolet catastrophe. He knows all about the science stuff, Professor Dave explains. We know that the classical physics of Newton and pals reigned supreme for a few centuries. So what were the events that finally exposed its limitations? What was the first thing that suggested there was more to the universe than we had previously thought? This seismic shift was initiated in 1901 when Max Planck solved something called the ultraviolet catastrophe. The problem went like this. Certain objects are called black bodies because they emit electromagnetic radiation of all wavelengths. The sun is an example of such an object, and we can take a look at the distribution of the wavelengths of light that we receive from the sun.
Okay, that's interesting. So the sun, right, it has all types of radiating electrons. So, but how do you get this shape? How do you get this plot? How do you get this plot? I don't understand. So you have like, this is irradiance. Nan- Wait, nanometers? So wait, it's the reverse. The wavelength is here. Oh, there's the frequency, right? So it's the reverse. No, what's going on? Wavelength goes from 0 to, it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be frequency, not wavelength. This should be zero frequency. So how could this be? Okay, this makes no sense. Okay, then I don't know. He says he says this is black body. I don't know. Forget it. Next.
When you shine light on,
But I don't understand this.
He developed this expression for black body radiation, where energy is equal to n, and pals reigned supreme for a few centuries. So what were the events that finally exposed its limitations?
You want to watch this? Not the beginning. I never skip.
What was the first thing that suggested there was more to the universe than we had previously thought? This seismic shift was initiated by bodies because they emit electromagnetic radiation of all wavelengths. The sun is an example of such an object, and we can take a look at the distribution of the wavelengths of light that we receive from the sun.
Okay, so for low wavelength, that's like low wavelength is actually high frequency. This is the most dangerous. This is very dangerous. This is getting less and less and less dangerous. This is sunlight without atmospheric absorption. Okay.
Most of it is in the visible.
Oh, so this is UV. Right, UV, visible, infrared. It's fine. The light emitted by the sun in yellow matches the black body spectrum for 5778 Kelvin. So yellow is the sun and red is the black body. I don't get it. So the red, I don't know what's going on. I
spectrum,
wish
which is
you would just show, here's the experiment, and here, like, how do you get the plot?
why our eyesight evolved to pick up this kind of light. But we also receive light on either side in the UV portion, as well as infrared and beyond. A hot piece of metal will also do this, and this was the way we studied black bodies at the time, noting that the distribution depends not at all on the material.
Okay, this is, oh, I thought it's frequency. Maybe it's wavelength. No, I think it's wavelength. So this is high energy. No, I think, isn't this, no, let's, I don't know. Yeah, the classical theory, no, it's okay. I mean, it's wavelengths at the bottom. Why do you say it's inverted? Look, it means that the question is, how do you get the plot? How do you do the plot? Why is he not showing? This is the most dangerous. This is UV. But why would you expect? But why would you expect this to go to infinity? I don't understand. I mean, why? But you'd expect a Boltzmann. I would expect a Boltzmann distribution. I mean, there's an interaction between the motion of the particles. So, so wait. So I don't. How do you get the plots? How do you get these plots? Yeah. I don't understand. I need to know how to do the plot in order to understand the classical theory. How do you do the plot? What do you? No, just the plot, just the experiment. How do you plot the experiment into the paper, into this diagram? How do you plot? You have you have a black body. You have a black body at a certain temperature. How do you get these wavelengths? These wavelengths. So you set, okay, for this wavelength, so and so intensity. For this wavelength, so you just take a bunch of data points, and for each one you get, it tells you the intensity somehow. I don't know how. Maybe, but this has nothing to do with the photoelectric effect. This has nothing to do with photo. Right. This is Planck. This is from this experiment. Planck will derive his age, and Einstein will derive the next experiment, the ultraviolet photoelectric effect. Okay, but this one, so they're seeing that at high frequency, there's no waves, and in middle frequency there is plenty, and low wavelengths, the low energy. High energy there is zero. Low energy there is something. There is a long tail on the right. And this now, why would you expect classic? But what do you mean they expected high? I mean, how could you expect? Right, you're expecting electrons to vibrate, right? You're expecting electrons to vibrate, and according to Maxwell's equation, this is Maxwell's equation. So electrons are vibrating and shaking up the ether, because at this point there was still ether. Yeah, this is still ether. They still believe this is before 1905. Okay, so it's shaking up the ether. It's Maxwell. This is Maxwell. So the electron is shaking. So why would you expect electrons to shake faster and faster and faster? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Why would you expect an electron to shake at infinite speed, at infinite frequency? Why would you ever expect that? Why would you heat up when you're heating up? You're heating it up, so you expect. These are just electrons. So these are just electrons. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a cloud. It's atoms, exactly. The atoms are shaking. What's shaking is, of course, the electron, and as it's shaking at different speeds, it's giving off energy, and these electrons, it's heat. This is just thermodynamics. So of course you expect a Boltzmann distribution, whatever this is called. Forgot the name of this distribution, but that's what, because it's electrons. Which is why I never, it's atoms. Boltzmann. I mean, you could argue that this is before Einstein proved the atomic theory, because Einstein, with the Bohmian motion, what do you call the Brownian motion, he proved atoms in 1905. This is still before 1905. So Boltzmann is the one who believed in atoms, and Einstein believed in atoms, but you could say maybe people didn't believe in atoms, but they knew about the electron. The electron is like from years ago. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't know. This is it's useless. I need, yes, of course I expect it continues. Okay, this
When you
guy,
shine light on an object,
this guy.
some of it may
In this video, I would like to answer a simple question. According to quantum mechanics, how do you describe a freely moving particle? Now, it sounds simple, but what we will discover is that by attempting to answer this question, we will actually uncover one of the most...
It's playing my.
when you shine light on an object, some of it may be reflected. One such problem involved explaining. Towards the end of the 19th century, physics was flourishing. The principles of thermodynamics had helped to kickstart the Industrial Revolution, and Faraday had recently discovered how to generate electricity. Furthermore, James Clerk Maxwell's grand unification of electricity and magnetism had led to the remarkable realization that light was an electromagnetic wave. Spurred on by the power and reach of these new theories, physicists began using them to address some of the big unsolved problems of the day. One such problem involved explaining how hot objects emit light. It was well known that if you heat a lump of metal, it will first glow dull red, then orangey red, then yellow, and eventually bluey white at the same time as getting...
Yeah. Well, what's the problem? So you're heating it. So atoms are shaking. This is thermodynamics. They're shaking more and more and more. As they're shaking more, oh, this is just higher and higher frequency. This is just higher frequency. This is low frequency, red, high frequency, yellow and white. Because the atoms are shaking faster and faster. There's more atoms are shaking faster here than slow, and here are more shaking slow than fast. But I don't know. Yeah, rally. Yeah, but I need to understand what was the dilemma. I don't understand the dilemma. It's like, yeah, that's what I would have expected. Why would you expect the high frequency, like anything to be of super high frequency? Like at the highest frequency should go to infinity? What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? How can anything go to infinity? Why would you think about infinity? Like things, why should things, right? You don't expect this to vibrate. You hardly expect any particles here to vibrate with zero wavelength, like super high frequency. Like when it's dead cold, there's nothing moving fast here. Very few are moving fast here. As it gets hotter and hotter, you could say that you're getting more and more closer to some of the atoms to be vibrating super fast. So you're going to get more and more energy distribution. It's going to be more and more weighted towards the left, towards the low wavelength. So we notice that as it heats up, it moves, the peak moves towards the left. But why would you expect it to go to? I mean, this is what you'd expect. This is
So
always.
they were still using the Boltzmann constant. Right, so the difference here is that
Wait, this is frequency? What's
wavelength.
going on? Why do they keep changing from from wavelength to frequency? What is this nonsense?
Wait, a frequency values.
Now it's frequency before it was wavelength? So this is zero frequency? This is the lowest energy? What's going on? What is going on? I'm not following this. Everything here is upside down, inside out.
Wait, I don't know if they're using already like. I don't know if in this okay. Let me ask ChatGPT. Are they using like, or are they using like already a Planck?
Greater. Physicists wanted to explain how
Okay, I'm gonna try and continue listening. This is the temperature. As it gets hotter, it becomes wider.
the
Okay.
intensity or brightness of the emitted radiation related to the wavelength or color. They realized that this would involve understanding how matter, the lump of metal, interacts with radiation, the light emitted, at a fundamental level. However, when Maxwell's theory was used in conjunction with classical thermodynamics to calculate the emission profile of a hot object, it predicted that all such objects should be emitting an infinite amount of energy at small wavelengths or high frequencies.
Why? He says Maxwell, according to Maxwell, you expect some infinity.
The light emitted at a fundamental level. However, when Maxwell's
However, when Maxwell's
theory was used in
theory,
conjunction with classical
in
thermodynamics to
conjunction with thermodynamics, to
calculate the emission profile
calculate
of a hot object, it predicted that all such objects should be emitting an infinite amount of energy at small wavelengths or
infinite, it should, all hot objects should emit an infinite amount of energy at small wavelengths. That's from Maxwell. Maxwell is just electromagnetic waves. What do you want from Maxwell? How? Why are you putting this on poor Maxwell? What did he say? He said nothing. Just that. But it's from Maxwell. What? I know. I mean, thermodynamics is statistical mechanics, but what do you want? What are you trying to say? I don't understand this. And why do you need to study black body radiation? Why not just study this hot piece of metal? Why do you need the black body radiation? But why? He just wanted to figure out. And what was the question? What was the question they were after? Like, you want to improve the light bulb? Okay, so how is this related to improving the light bulb? The government paid for this research, and this research was very important from Planck. that he worked and worked and worked on this? Why do you need a black body? Why do you need this black body with the hole, with the box, with the this and that? Where are you going with this? I don't understand. Let me hear.
high frequencies. Because high frequency light was dubbed ultraviolet light, and because this prediction was clearly problematic, this issue became known as the ultraviolet catastrophe. It represented a complete failure of classical physics, and it was in attempting to solve this problem that Max Planck was forced to introduce the revolutionary concept of energy quantization.
All right. Next video. Black body radiation oven. The theoretical model that describes electromagnetic radiation? Why should I care about a black? Why should I care about a black body? I don't understand. According to, look, this has nothing to do with Maxwell. So this has to do with statistical mechanics, which says the vibration of the atoms is going to be distributed with, as we saw, with the Boltzmann distribution, and therefore, because of this vibration, you're going to be emitting electromagnetic radiation because of the thermodynamic, because of the vibration of the particles. So some of them are going to. Basically, you have the entire prediction from statistical mechanics. No, but you know that the distribution is. Yeah, but you know, okay, the distribution of the motion, the distribution looks exactly like the speed of particles in a gas. Did you know that? Here, let me show you. The speed of particles in a gas. Blah blah blah. Where? Kinetic theory of gases. Let's see. Mm. Why? Why does he need to quantize? That's ridiculous. I don't. What do you mean? but it should be exactly the same, like the motion. This should be the distribution. See, this is Ludwig Boltzmann. The distribution was first proposed by Maxwell and Boltzmann. This is the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Here it is. This is it. This is just a Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. This is just statistical mechanics, and this is exactly what the distribution of wealth looks like. Short wave on the left, and infinite tail on the right. Short tail on the left, infinite tail on the right. So that's it. I mean, of course, and this is derived. You can derive this. You can derive this directly from theory. This is just this. This is the probability density. I don't know. This is, you can derive this. This is derivable from first principles. You can derive this from first principles. You don't need any data. This is theoretical. It's not. I think so. I think so. For a classical system containing a large number of identical non-interacting, non-relativistic classical particles in I think they are interacting. Why none? Anyway, particles in thermodynamic equilibrium, the fraction of the particles within an infinitesimal element of three-dimensional velocity space d cubed v, or it's a third derivative. Yes. Centered on a velocity vector v of magnitude v is given by this. This is perfectly theoretical. This is from geometrical considerations. There's YouTube videos that derive this. It's what? Yeah, this is perfect. This is pure mathematics. So one can write. So this we can watch a video how to derive the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Why?
So let's think a little bit about the
Why would you say? But what do you mean? But they knew there was. They knew this is Maxwell and Boltzmann. They knew about this distribution, and this predicts exactly how the atom should vibrate. It looks the same. Where's the confusion?
Maxwell
But there's nothing to disagree on.
Boltzmann distribution. And this right over here, this is a picture of James Clerk Maxwell. And I really like this picture. It's with his wife, Catherine Maxwell. And I guess this is
Huh? Of course it matters. What do you this is but Maxwell Boltzmann distribution predicts exactly what you're looking for. There's no contradiction. It's completely predictable. What what am I missing? I never understood this catastrophe. I never understood the ultraviolet catastrophe.
is their dog. And James Maxwell, he is a titan of physics, famous for Maxwell's equations. He also did some of the foundational work on color photography, and he was involved in thinking about, well, what's the distribution of speeds of air particles, of idealized gas particles. And this gentleman over here, this is Ludwig Boltzmann, and he's considered the father, or one of
What? What do you mean I have a point? This is like I don't understand. I never understood what Planck was trying to get. What is this catastrophe?
one of the founding fathers of statistical mechanics. And together, through the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution, they didn't collaborate, but they independently came to the same distribution. They were able to describe what's the distribution of the speeds of air particles. So let's back up a little bit. Let's just do a little bit of a thought experiment. So let's say that I have a container here. Let's say that I have a container here, and let's say it has air. And air is actually made up mostly of nitrogen. Let's just say it has only nitrogen, just to simplify things. So let me just draw some nitrogen molecules in there. And let's say that I have a thermometer. I put a thermometer in there, and the thermometer, it reads a temperature of 300 Kelvin. What does this temperature of 300 Kelvin mean?
What? You're looking for what? Okay. I'm trying to simultaneously understand this distribution.
Well, in our everyday life, we have a kind of a visceral sense of temperature. Hey, I don't want to touch something that's hot. It's going to burn me. Or that cold thing, it's going to make me shiver. And that's how our brain processes this thing called temperature. But what's actually going on at a molecular scale? Well, temperature, one way to think about temperature, this would be a very accurate way to think about temperature, is that I'm spelling it wrong, temperature is proportional to average kinetic energy of
But this distribution of energy,
of the molecules in that system, let me write it this way, temperature is proportional to average kinetic energy.
yeah, I'm here.
Good night, my love.
Okay, I'm going to put you in timeout.
Good night.
Okay. So, okay.
Average kinetic energy in the system. Energy. Oh, that's right.
Why? What do you mean necessary to quantize? Why? What was the problem? I don't understand the problem. What do you mean? Of course it fit the results. It's identical to the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. This I expected Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. That's what they got. Where's the incongruence? Yeah. I have no idea what the problem was. What was the ultraviolet catastrophe? I never understood it.
Average kinetic energy. So let's make that a little bit more concrete. So let's say that I have two containers. So it's one container, whoops, and two containers right over here. And let's say they have the same number.
Yes. It doesn't matter. But this, what do you mean? This is the motion. This is the kinetic energy under temperature. That's literally what's giving you the radiation.
Of molecules of nitrogen gas, and I'm just going to draw 10 here. This obviously is not realistic. You'd have many more molecules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But what's the problem you need to fix? There's no issue. The distribution.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's say we know that the temperature here is 300 Kelvin, and the temperature, so the temperature of the system is 300 Kelvin, and the temperature of this system is 200 Kelvin. So if I wanted to visualize what these molecules.
Anyway, I have to go to sleep soon because I haven't slept like in 3. Do you have anyone you can ask to explain to you? But this is what they expected. Of course, there's quantization, but this is not Planck's constant. Light is not quantized. This is just radiation. Why do you see? Where do you see it quantized? It's Maxwell's equations. It's just electric. It's just electromagnetic radiation. Why do you need to quantize electromagnetic radiation? What result? This is exactly what you got. Is exactly what's predicted by Maxwell-Boltzmann. They actually say that it's non-interacting. This is a non-interacting ideal gas. They're saying that it's not interacting. This is they're not interacting. This is an ideal gas, and they say this is just it's just no. There's no collision. This is non. There's no collisions. It says here non-interacting, non-interacting. I don't know. I mean, it looks like. Look, I'm trying to watch the video where he's developing the equation. So I thought maybe we can get some insight if we see how the equation. This is Khan. Look, he's already halfway through. I mean, it's just 6 more minutes to understand.
are doing. They're all moving around. They're bumping. They don't all move together in unison. The average kinetic energy of the molecules in this system is going to be higher. And so maybe you have this molecule is moving in that direction. So that's its velocity. This one has this velocity. This one's going there. This one might not be moving much at all. This one might be going really fast that way. This one might be going super fast that way. This is doing that. This is doing that. This is doing that. So if you were to now compare it to this system you could still have a molecule that is going really fast. Maybe this molecule is going faster than any of the molecules over here, but on average, the molecules here have a lower kinetic energy. So this one maybe is doing this. Let's see if I can draw on average. They're going to have a lower kinetic energy. That doesn't mean all of these molecules are necessarily slower than all of these molecules or have lower kinetic energy than all of these molecules, but on average, they're going to have less kinetic energy. And we can actually draw a distribution. And this distribution, that is the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. So if let me draw a little
Oh, maybe he's not going to derive it.
plane here. So let me draw a coordinate plane. So if on this axis I were to put speed, and on this axis I would put number of molecules, number of molecules right over here. For this system, the system that is at 300 Kelvin, the distribution might look like this. So
Maybe that's not the energy density; it's just the number of molecules.
it might look the distribution.
Even though I would say number of molecules is the energy density. No.
I'm using a new color. So
How did they get the plot? I don't know. How did they get the plot? What does it mean, energy density? What does that mean?
the distribution, this is going to be all of the molecules.
Hi, Lily. Hey, Lily, we're doing like advanced physics stuff. Really, really. Yeah, fancy schmancy physics. Really fancy schmancy.
So the distribution might
We're trying to understand the ultraviolet catastrophe. Why did they invent quantum physics to begin with? Yeah, it's totally crazy, and we're not able to understand what drove them to invent it in the first place. We're watching a video. What? Well, we've been discussing this for hours. I mean, we just got to discussing this experiment because we're trying to understand quantum physics. Why is there quantum physics to begin with? What's the reason for quantum physics? It all began with Planck. So we're tracing history. We're doing archaeological physics. We're going back to the original experiments. There's very little information, actually. Hey, Jensen. No, it's not advanced. It's very schmancy, but it's not advanced.
look like this.
We're watching a YouTube video on my channel.
Like this. And this would actually be
There's a link. You can watch
the
it.
Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution for this system. Let's call this system A. System A right over here.
Yeah,
And this system
not gonna
that has a
derive
lower
it.
temperature, which means it also has a lower kinetic energy. The distribution,
He is
so its
not
distribution is
going to derive it.
okay. The most prob because these on average these things.
What? What board? No, I didn't. Why did you draw something on it? You can do whatever. Okay, you can draw. It's fine. If it makes you happy to draw on the board, then enjoy. That's good. Anyway, Senis, you want to go and we'll continue tomorrow? Yeah, if you can ask if you have anyone. One second, if you have anyone you can ask, that'd be the best. Like, try and come back with an answer. Anyway, tomorrow I'll spend some time. I'll start writing the paper. Well, okay. So I'll see you tomorrow. Let me talk to these guys. Maybe I can debate someone. All right. Good night. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, Lily, Jensen, do you have anyone to debate me on anything? Okay, do you want to bring them over to here so I can mop the floor with their faces? Because I need to clean my. That's pretty good. Or did it? Anyway, Jensen, bring someone to me. Bring them to me so I can. Which is your server? The trap server? Trap house? There's two people. Okay, I'm moving over. Let's Oh, I wasn't sharing it. Okay.
What?
Okay, who wants to debate me? Alpha, Ziggy. Ziggy's dead. Alpha.
All right, this is my homosexual 70-year-old friend, Mr. Slave.
But there's no one here.
Yo, Alpha.
Yeah. What? Who's this?
Yo, this is Mr.
Alpha,
Slave.
do you
He's
debate?
Sigma. You're
Yeah,
Alpha.
I'm the debater. Do you debate?
I've been to hell and back.
Alpha.
And man, only if Lucas was here, Lucas would love to debate you.
So bring them to me. Bring them to me.
Lucas isn't here right now.
What? What?
Don't ping anyone with the debater role.
I'm gonna go soon. If
I'm not answering that question.
you know, Lily, if you any time of the day, if you can bring over someone to debate me, that'd be wonderful. Like I'm always up for a debate.
I'm just gonna say no. I'm just gonna keep saying no to anything else.
Mr. Slave, do you
Yeah.
have a new owner yet?
I'm trying.
Say no.
I had one and she dumped me, so I'm trying to regain her trust.
What about me, Mr. Slave? Do you want? Or can me and you be together?
But are you dominant?
Wait, what?
I guess I could be.
No, there's no such thing. You need to fantasize about being dominant.
One time, I beat the shit out of a guy with a wooden plank.
And did you come? We did it?
I don't know, Mr. Slave. I don't know.
Yes.
No, we need to know. That
Like I
is
said, you're gonna keep saying no.
dominant woman.
I don't know, Mr. Slave.
What?
You need
I cannot do it. If you're gonna
about
speak your
murdering
opinion,
men,
say
and
no.
that needs to turn you on.
What?
Dude, what the fuck is man?
That's just the reality. Welcome to reality. That is what the dominant.
Do I have a girlfriend?
Man, it's clearly us.
No, I don't have a girlfriend. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna go because I haven't slept in 2 days. So
Because you've been doing advanced physics.
no, because I went to a party yesterday and I went to sleep late and I barely slept and I woke up early.
Girlfriend.
Are you a big partier, Mr. Slave?
No, but I
It's
wanted
Carly.
to go get my chick back, and so I went to.
I don't know who the fuck is Carly.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for being with me and keeping me company. So, Lily, anytime you want to bring someone over so I can mop the floor with their face, that'd be really terrific. I would really appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my hole now. Goodbye.
Yo,
Okay, bye.
Lily.
Bye.
Who?
Okay. How long have we been here? Okay, 2.5 hours. That's too much. Okay, we're gonna stop here. We did a lot of work. So, bye.